Hey all brothers and sisters, my name is Captain Meatshield and welcome back to Satisfactory. The modular frames have finished filling the space elevator. We've got everything in bar the adaptive control units now, so we just need to finish that up and we can send off the last phase for that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to connect this up. The rest of these modular engines can just feed into the awesome sync now. I have disconnected the inputs into the smart plating because all of that backed up because the modular engine stuff shut down. So I'm just going to leave that running so it can just empty out all of its resources and I don't have to worry about faffing around with it, because these are worth a hell of a lot more when it comes down to going into the sink. So I'm better off processing those into these to then chuck into the sink. So that's how I'm going to do that. Set up a new hypertube that takes me over to all the steel stuff as well, so it's just little bits of ease of access getting around the place, which is just great. The plastic seems to be running a bit slower as well. I have a feeling the petroleum might have backed up a bit, so... well, the petroleum coke anyway. It's not a huge problem. I do want to check to see what the spike is going to be like in the awesome sync once these modular engines come along, so give me a moment. I do want to just see what it's going to be like. Get rid of all this belt while I'm here as well, because we don't need to be feeding the automated wiring over this way either. What I might do, because the automated wiring is going to be, you know, running for a little while. I think once I've got the materials for the space elevator done, I'll connect the manufacturer into the awesome sync as well, and then we can just get rid of all the surplus. I'll shut down the productions here. It'll probably work best, in my professional opinion. Not that that's much to speak to, but whatever. Okay, hypertube, take me home, please. The engines are starting to feed in to the awesome sync. I hope the graph is updated. Let's have a look at it. Oh, that is one hell of a spike. Nice, that is a big improvement. So we'll just leave that running, and we'll get back over to our ACU production site and carry on with what we were doing, because I've got the belts going from the smelting floor up to the construction floor done. I haven't fed in any miners yet. I have started to place down some miners on some locations. I need to check what the purity on that one is. I don't know if I've checked it. But what we might do today is look for the resources that we need. So as it stands, oh no, I have belted the steel. I kind of forgot that I'd done that. Steel is coming around and going up through the floor there. There's 7, I think. I can't remember. Can't remember the ratios I've worked out for this. But 5 of these are going off up that way for making iron plate, and the rest of them, there's 9 actually. They're all going off this direction to produce rods and screws. Copper is all connected up on a belt and splitting off up on the next floor. It's all looking really quite neat and organised, and I'm really quite happy with it. I think I've done a great job with this one. It's going to be a shame when I have to tear it all down. Over here I did a little bit of belt balancing, so we only need to send 30 copper ingots off to the rods. So we've got this splitting here going down onto a Mark 1 belt that then splits to 30 on these two, and then that gets fed back in over here to go off to the copper sheets. So that's looking pretty good. I think what we'll do now, or for now, I don't need to be on this floor, I need to be up here, and even further up really, because we need to figure out what needs what. That needs computers, circuit boards, and heavy modular frames. They're all going to be produced on this floor, so you don't need any underground inputs. the automated wire can just come up on an elevator or whatever. This needs cable, circuit boards, plastic and screws, so we will tear all this out so that you can have some inputs from below. The circuit boards I think can just feed in, say here. Everything else can just come up from underground, or the next floor down. Yeah, 25 a minute, that's fine. Encased industrial beams are needing steel beams, so that there. And we could run the concrete under here as well, I guess. Doesn't really matter too much. Reinforced plate, all needs inputs from below. Just want to kind of plot this stuff out. Then you need screws. So what we'll do with that then, because I need 3 of these going into 2 of those, we'll sort out the outputs from here. We can go from these 3 into a splitter that then splits those 2 out nice and evenly. These are needing 140 screws a minute. So that's 280 between the 2 of them. That's not enough that we could support on a single belt. So they're going to need a Mark III lift each. We'll just bring those down like that. And these 3, or these 4, sorry, need both copper sheet and plastic. So, at the very least, we need to tear all this out. I still haven't figured out if I'm going to try and, like, fully provide for all of the machinery. I think I might. Because once we've got, like, all the ACU stuff dealt with, we can just let these machines run until we fill up with other products. So, how much do these... bugger, I missed the jump because I'm crap. Platforming. Okay, we need 60 copper sheet and 120 plastic to get this thing running full speed. So... I may even space these out a bit better. Like that. And there we go. So, in the middle here, what we could do, we bring a conveyor lift down like that. This is where we're going to start apparently, so let's get to it. So we got those 2 there, and then under here we can sort out the rest of this. Get that split nice and even. And we can just feed all this with a single Mark I belt. Yeah, it's wonky, but at least it's evenly wonky. So I guess that's a good thing. And then we could do pretty much the exact same thing. I should have left the splitters underneath, because we could run plastic in on this one. So they need 30 each. So a single Mark II belt would be more than enough for that. I'm going to tidy this up just for the sake of my own brain. Should be more like that. And that is much cleaner. I like it. So we need a Mark I belt coming in the top, Mark II belt on the bottom. Nice. Okay, that's that bit sorted. So we're going to be producing 7.5, 15. We're going to be producing 30 a minute. Yeah, that is exactly what we need. So we need 25 for the computers, and then another 5 for the control units. So that's not a problem. So how are we going to operate this? What I'll do, merge them together like so. Actually, I'm going to change this ever so slightly. Not by much. And that keeps it a little more compact and slightly cleaner. So I like that. Then I'm going to put a storage container in just around here. And bring this all the way over. Feed in there. And then... Okay, so this could feed in direct into that, and that wouldn't be a problem. But we do need to remove 5 from this. So... how do we want to do this? Take a splitter. We're going to have 30 coming in. So, a merger just in here in the front. I have 10 coming out there. I have 10 going around there. We'll have another splitter. That'll take 5 going in that way. I don't like that. Please fix it. And then 5 can come out here. Bugger off in this direction. And that can go off to the ACU production. Yeah. That's meant to line up with this. Fine, we're just shoving it in there instead. I'm changing this up. Okay. So that's one item pretty much dealt with. The only thing I haven't done with it is sort out the rest of the inputs from constructors to assemblers. And obviously routing all the plastic into this. But that, again, does need an overhaul. So, there is that. The bolted frames need to go into here. Yes. And you need underground inputs as well. Though only 2 of them. So that's fine. We'll merge these two. I guess we could put the underground inputs down there. Let's just place, place those there so we get that lined up. That can feed in there. Feed in like that. That's in case industrial beams plugged in. And that would be the bolted frames. When I actually plug them in. Oh, and I'm 3 bloody plates short of being able to finish this belt. I'm going to need more iron plate then, aren't I? Well, the modular engine belt has run down, so let's go and check to see how much this has gone up by. Not bad. Oh, wow. We're pulling over 600,000 points a minute. Damn, that's good. Right, there we go. Bolted frames are now plugged in. Let's feed in the outputs from all of this stuff. So that would be the heavy modular frames feeding in there. That would be the computers feeding in. The only thing we'd need to plug in then would be the automated wiring. So now we've got to worry about the underbelly for all of this shit. And that's going to be the fun part. Most of it is going to be filtering all the screws. That's like the big problem. These need 60 a minute each, so they're easy. We could just filter that out by like Mark 1 belts, feed them together onto a Mark 3, and then split them out here. I guess. That could be one way of doing it. I'm overproducing on iron plate, I'm sure of it. No, well, I am, but not by much. I need 90 and I'm producing 100. Yeah, so that's fine. So, that's not a concern. Right, so, to that end, let's start figuring this stuff out. I'm going to do iron plate on this lot first. That one was easy enough. And that's got the screws sorted out. All we need to do is make sure that we balance stuff as we bring it in. So, let me make a note of what I need for each of these sections. Screws. So, we've got some interesting numbers. I mean, the reinforced plate one's going to be easy enough. That's 3 Mark 1 belts, 180 in total. The bolted frames, I need 280. So 2 belts of 140. The heavy modular frames need 200. And then the computers need 130. Which is just over a Mark II belt, which is really annoying. So the big trick is going to be figuring out how I'm going to get all of that in. Right, well, what I'm going to do first, let's see where the output for... Aha. Okay, so this will be where we can bring up the iron, or the iron plate at the very least. So if we just get a... we need a Mark II? Yeah. Right, there we go. Iron plate feeding in. So that bit's all sorted. Now we need to figure out what we're doing with the screws, because we've really got a lot of production over here, and we need to balance it out. Because each of these is producing 40 a minute. How many machines have I got to work with? I think I installed 20. So we're producing 800. Let's take these numbers away. Okay, as far as screws go, we're only overproducing by 10. That's pretty good. So I need 4.5 machines worth to get the reinforced plate sorted. This might work out easier than I expected. Give me a minute. Might mean that things end up being a bit snug. But I mean, as long as I can feed belts in, that works. What we'll do, merger there, and then I can fit more in on this side. But ultimately what I want for this one Mark 3 coming through there. So this one will split its output, and then all of this will be producing 180, providing 180. And then let's send that skywards, feed that into the reinforced plate, and then that lot's dealt with. Brilliant. Okay. Computers next. That needs 3.25. So, 1, 2, 3. We could just feed these 3 here into one. Alright, we'll merge here and we'll point it in that direction. Put that out like that, send you off that way. It'll lower the belt speed there. I'm sure the off-center nature of these belts is going to be upsetting some people, but I think we're just going to have to live with it. So that'll be 140 on a single belt. I'll just tear that out there, because that's underneath the... Might point it the other way, actually. So I think that's under the encased industrial beams. Ah, but now comes the problem. I can't fit this in. Okay, these are the problems we have to deal with. Alright. It's fine. I can just feed the belt up, and then we can reorient things when we're on the next level. Like that. You go in there. These ones go in there. So we've got 80, 160 there. $120, 240, and another 80 at the end here. So let's have a look. 140, 80, 120, 160, 200. Okay. Yeah, I can work with this a bit. For the sake of consistency, I'm going to keep all the mergers on this side. Just for reasons. Reasons that are probably unknown, but whatever. And that one there can be for the heavy modular frames. And then everything that's left... So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They'll be for the whatsits, the bolted frames. Okay. How do I want to handle this one? So I need 3.5 for each of them. Right. Okay. Plan formed. Connect these like that. That one can just feed direct into here. Yeah, I think this might work. Ooh. Be very cramped down here, but split this one here. Merge into both of those. And the rest of this should work like a fucking charm. And then they're pointing this way and that way respectively. We'll just take them up through the floor. Through here. And then we can drag them over towards the bolted frames. And I think we've got all the screws as balanced as I can get them. Oh boy, that was a bit of brain work, and it doesn't look half bad. It's not massively untidy. So, you know, that's pretty good. I get the feeling that I've got too much copper sheet production, though. So I need 15 a minute for one setup. They produce at 10 per minute. Right, let me have a look. No, apparently I need 65. Do I? I've got to go and double check that. No, this is saying that I only need 60, because I need 4 of these. So I don't know where I got that number from. I think I messed up my numbers somewhere. That means I can come down a floor. Let me just take that away for now. Ah, perfect. And I think I can get rid of one of these. Because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're going. You're not needed to get out of here. Oh yeah, there were like a few odd ingots on the belts because I found some in storage, so I was like, I'm going to chuck them into this system, and, you know, just somewhat, like, semi-prime things. I chucked a load of ore into the iron production as well, so, yeah, that's a thing. Okay, so I'm going to figure out where, under all this, I'm going to start bringing screws up. Right, well, say the... Right, that's right above the iron production, or the iron plate production, so we're not using that space. This would probably be the nearest spot that we could drag this stuff up. Right, that's that lot plugged in. I hope that I've remembered that this is the right spot as well. So 40, 80, 120, 160, 180. Yeah, that's the right one. I think this lot, or this set here, was for the... Fuck, what was it? Computers. Must be. It was 1, 2, 3.5. Yeah, that's for the computers. Okay. Oh, this one's a tough one to remember all the stuff for. There's just so much of it. So I'll just drag you up like that so I can see where you're poking out when I get back up onto that floor. I have been double checking recipes and power for everything. It's all plugged in. So once we've got all this stuff sorted, we should be able to just go looking for resource nodes, get miners set up, and we can just plug and play, really. And I think that's going to be good fun. This one is the computers. This is like, what, 200 a minute. And then I've got the holes ready for those two as well. So next floor, let's start trying to plug these things together. Alright, computers. Needing 200 a minute, not 300, good god. That's an awful lot of screws. That is in. Right, I want to bring the ones for the bolted frames. Up a touch. And those inputs for the bolted frames are done. What have we got left to work with? Okay, this one is computers. Shit. This one was meant to be for the heavy modular frames. I got that wrong. Yeah, that's better. What else does this thing need? Cable and plastic. Right, okay. So that's not too much to worry about. This one we'll have is the heavy modular frame screw input. Bring you down like that. There we go. That's got the heavy modular frame supply plugged it into the right bloody place. So that's all of the screws as balanced as I can get them, and going into all of the right, the correct machines. How did I make a hole here? Oh yeah, I was looking at all the copper sheet, wasn't I? Right, we need to get all this stuff merged. And I think we can try and bring it up somewhere around here. If I put another merger in here, we'll fill that out. Where's the splitters? Oh, they're above the cable production. Okay, what I think I'll do... Again, get up a floor and I'll work my way backwards. That seems to be a method that works best. Oh. I'm out of rods. Can't make any more stackers. Just pinch a couple of these for the time being. And... oh, fuck, I done fell down. Alright. Yeah, I'll bring the copper sheet up through here. I might bring the cable out and send it up this way as well. So if I take a conveyor lift here, and we'll just put that up there for the copper, and then the cable can come up like that, go off to the computer production. Then all that remains is plugging in the steel stuff. Pipes go into the heavy modular frames, and steel beams go into the encased industrial beams. Then all that's left is to sort out the plastic, and then belting over concrete and the automated wiring. And then we can get this whole system online. So I have a feeling next episode we might be able to get this done. But this one's going to have to stop here, unfortunately. We're close. We're very close. I'll finish up the kind of in-house belting here between episodes, so we can just get that bit finished. And next episode we can focus on expanding the plastic production and belting in the last few resources that we need. Then we'll go looking for, you know, the amount of resources that we need to pull out of the ground, like the iron and the copper. So, not much left to do before we can get this stuff online. Which is pretty good if you ask me. So I'm going to wrap this episode up here and just say thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, check out the playlists on the channel for more Let's Plays and metal covers, and give this video a like or a comment just to leave your thoughts. And if you wish to join the ever-growing ranks of the Order of the Shield, subscribe on YouTube, chuck me a follow over on Twitch, or maybe even consider checking out my Patreon and becoming an officer within the ranks. But thank you again for watching this video, and catch you all very, very soon. This is Captain Meatshield signing off. Honestly, after everything I've done today, I think I deserved that. So, maybe... okay. Maybe I'll let it slide.